The number one best way to improve your communication skills is to improve your listening skills. It's true. When is the last time that you were listened to? Right? I mean, really listened to. Listening effectively, great listening, is one of those in-demand skills that enhances every role, and it takes practice to do it right. I'm Jen Swanson, your career coach, and today I'm giving you 7 tips that you can implement right away that will greatly improve your listening skills and will give you that competitive edge. Are you ready? Look at me. Look at me right here in the eyes. Are you listening? Okay, good. Tip number 1, decide to listen. Choose to listen. Stop talking yourself. Put away your phone. Shut out any distractions and make the conscious choice to be present with the person that you are listening to. Ignore that voice in your head that's asking what your stomach gets to have for lunch and be present and focus on that. It's actually a choice. What this does is it makes the other person feel really important, feel special. It's a gift to listen to one person and to focus on what they're saying. And you're not doing it in a creepy way. Oh, there's my stomach growling. You're not doing it in a creepy way. You're not staring at them, but you're just making the other person feel like they are really being heard. Tip number 2 is to listen to learn, not to respond. So instead of formulating what you're going to say next in your head or thinking about a great story that will follow on what the other person just said, just listen. Listen as if you had to repeat everything they were saying in the near future. Because guess what? That's tip number 3. Tip number 3 is to paraphrase. Now, you don't need to paraphrase every single thing, every single point that the person is making. That would drive them crazy, and that would drive you crazy. But aim for the main points. So paraphrasing, in case you don't know what that means, it means repeating what you've heard the other person say, but doing it in your own words. So, for example, if I said, I am so busy, there's so much to do, and I don't know if I'm going to get everything done that I'm supposed to get done by 3 p.m. today. If I said that, a paraphrase might be, so Jen, what I'm hearing you say is that you've got too much to do in the amount of time that you have to do it in, and you're feeling stressed and overwhelmed about it. That would be the other person's interpretation of what I said, and I would then say, yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. Now, paraphrasing is using different words, but it's using to learn, using to understand. So if my words have not quite hit the mark, if the paraphrase has not quite hit the mark, it gives the other person the opportunity to correct me so that then I know that I have understood and learned what the other person is saying, and the other person knows that I get it. Tip number 4 is ask questions. Ask clarifying questions to make sure that what you are hearing is exactly what they are saying, so that these things match up. This follows on tip number 3 about paraphrasing, and it might actually just come naturally for you to ask questions, clarifying questions. If you are getting value out of this, please hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and let's get to tip number 5. Tip number 5 is make it clear that you are listening by looking at the person, as I said before, not in a creepy way, but from time to time, and use what we call minimal encouragers, which are things like or oh wow, or just by nodding. You might already do this. They have a name, go figure, but use minimal encouragers and body cues to make sure the other person knows that you're paying attention to them. Tip number 6 is to use silence as a tool to encourage. Most people don't like the void or the vacuum that silence creates, but if you use it as a communication tool, you would be surprised by just holding space and being quiet, how often the other person is going to elaborate on what they've just said or say something more. So it's a very amazing communication tool and an excellent technique. Number 7 is to listen beyond words. I talk about this in my book that I'll link to down below, What They See, How to Stand Out and Shine in Your New Job. And you don't have to be in a new job to enjoy this book and get something out of it. But I talk about listening beyond words, which means paying attention to the things that are around the words, the para-language. What's the tone of voice? What body language and facial expressions are they making? How fast are they speaking? What is being said that is outside of the words? So listening to see if the body language and all of that is matching the words that are being said. You can learn even more when you pay attention to the words, but also to everything beyond the words. If you pick up 1 or 2 of these techniques and secretly test them out on your very next conversation, today you might be surprised at how effective they work. So I would love for you to tell me down below after you've done this which technique you tried and what happened. Because nobody needs to know that you're testing out these better listening techniques on somebody. You can do it on unsuspecting people, because listening is a practice. It takes time to do this, and so it's going to take a while for you to get all of this to make it become second nature. So try it out and let me know what happens. Next, I am going to link to an audio podcast that goes hand in hand with this topic. The podcast is How to Have Difficult Conversations and Why You Shouldn't Prevent Them. So I'm going to link to that next. Remember to subscribe. I'm communicating too quickly. And I will see you over there.